Okay, so yeah, sorry, Chris, thanks. Okay, right, okay. At last, I'm so sorry. These things, honestly, you wouldn't think shush you. You wouldn't think that I was actually quite a techie person, really. You would not believe the problems we have. Anyway, I'm here, and I'm sorry it's a really long time, and thank you so much to you all for joining me, because I realised it was a bit of a last-minute thing. I've been planning this all week, and then I realised at 10 o'clock I hadn't even put a note out into the group to say that I was going to do it. I hadn't sent an email out or anything, so I'm sorry. Anyway, I'm going to try and do one of these at least every week from now on. So I'm putting it out there, so I'm committing to it, and I promise I'm going to do it. So really, I just wanted to catch up with everyone because it feels like it's been forever. And I hope you're all having a good January and looking forward to February. It's kind of been a bit of a weird month, hasn't it, January? With everything in the media about heating and all of that. Oh my goodness, I've got two jumpers on today and a t-shirt underneath this because it's freezing here. And so I just thought, I kind of feel like I need to graft a little bit. So today, I'm kind of going to go with the flow. Mind you, kind of pretty much do that anyway. I don't want to ramble on too much. And I just wanted to sort of introduce you to the new release, even though it's a little mini kit. I think it's really cute. And I know lots of you have been getting it already, so thank you for that. And I just kind of wanted to go through the new kind of thing that we're doing with the downloads now and sort of explain what it is and why I'm actually doing it for you. Who's that? Wait for menopause, you get your own. Trust me, I have my own central heating. I've been up at 3:30 a.m. every day this week, for my legs are on fire and I'm either freezing like Siberia or absolutely out in the tropics. It's ridiculous. Mr. Doodles is quite liking it because it tends to be in the tropics right now, so he's kind of like, well, we're going to save a bit of heating this winter, and we have done, actually. I'm making him sit there in his coat in the living room some nights because I can't stand it. I just can't stand putting the heating on. Anyway, so let me tidy away a little bit. So, and I'm going to switch over, shall I switch over camera? Yeah, I'll switch over cameras. It's quite a nice sunny day today, but it's not that sunny, but for some reason it's really, really bright in here. So, anyway, I'm going to switch over and let's get on with it instead of me sitting here waffling on about central heating. Where are we? Okay, what's going on here? I'm thinking, oh gosh, honestly. Okay, so we have in the store a little tiny bitty, well, it's not too tiny, a little mini release. Obviously we've already done the Valentine release, which was the bunny rabbits full of always, but I wanted to do some extra little images this month, and I've kind of had these in progress for quite a long time and never actually got around to finishing them. So we have a cute little dog, which is Scruff. This looks really dark on here. He isn't actually that dark. So we've got Scruff, and you've got these in colour and black and white, and as you can see, you actually have different coloured versions. So for Scruff, because everyone has different coloured dogs, I thought, well, I better do like different colours. So we've kind of got a dark brown, we've got a grey black one, we've got a lighter brown as well, and then we've got quite a pale one. So I thought this one could kind of be like a Labrador. Now these are coming out quite pinky on my print because I've printed them out on the laser printer, but when you get them home they should come out like really nice kind of warm brown colour, and they should come out a lot better. So you're getting 4 different colours of these. Obviously we've also got the digi stamps as well, and he's actually holding, if I just hold this one up, which is a bit lighter, so he's actually munching on these little heart-shaped biscuits or cookies. How cute is that? I love his little scarf. So really cute. And the really fun thing with this is, if you coloured it, to me that looks quite masculine, but if you coloured it and put a different coloured scarf on, it could be a girl dog as well. So, put her a little pink or a red scarf on, or an orange or something, and it changes your dog completely. These are so lovely for making charity cards, I think, because everyone's kind of got a dog or a cat, or everyone knows a dog or a cat person. So we've then got our little Suki cat here, and she's named after Suki because my granddad, when I was little, he used to call every cat in the land Suki. He never seemed to know what a cat's name was. It was always a come here, Suki. He just always called it Suki, whatever it was. And so Suki is the name I always think of for a cat. So we've got this cute little ginger one. And oops, I think they're all ginger. I'm going to come back to that in a second. We've obviously got those in black and white as well. And this time she's actually holding, let me hold this up. It's not until you actually get to it you'll see, but she's holding a little envelope that she's about to mail, and then here she's holding a lollipop that's got a little heart on the end, which is really cute. And again, if you change the colour of that and change the scarf, I'm sure you can make it into a boy cat as well. And then we have Bella Bear, and she's a real customer favourite. You guys all love Bella Bear. So here she's holding a heart, and here we've got a coloured version there, so you can colour that in whatever colours you like. And then finally, we've got Bobby Bear, and so Bobby is Bella's brother, or it could be her boyfriend or her husband, whatever. And he's holding a little string of heart bunting, look, which is super cute. So that's the four. So there's 4 characters, but you've got different colours of the dogs and the cats. So the best way of buying this is to actually get the bundle. So if I just quickly show you that. So in the bundle, this is what you're actually getting. So you're going to get 13 images, 4 black and white, and then you've got 9 pre-coloured images as well. And after I did a poll in the group at the beginning of January, I think it was, asking you whether you preferred the lighter coloured images with the no lines that I did with Love Always, or whether you preferred the lines and the brighter colours for the pre-coloured images. And overwhelmingly it seemed like you preferred this style, so we've kind of gone back to this style. So that's kind of what you're going to get. Now the what I wanted to just show you, and I'm going to try not to go on too much here because I actually want to make something as well. So I need to just show you here. Let me show you with Bella Bear, because I think I've got these printed out properly. I got mixed up because my stupid printer decided to print 2 sides, and then it confused me completely. So obviously normally we give you the PNG Digistamp, and that will continue, that won't change. But what we're going to do from now on, I was kind of thinking the other day, and I was thinking, you know what can I do that actually makes it all much easier for you? Because I get asked the same questions all the time, and one of them, probably the biggest one, is how can I resize my images? And the simple answer to that is that you can do it on your printer. So when you send it to your printer, there'll be a little box and you'll be able to resize. But how can I make it even easier than that? Because at the end of the day, I want you to be able to craft really quickly, really easily, and I want to deliver in Digistamps. I want to deliver it in a way that, you know, you just literally download it and you craft it within 2 minutes. And so what I've done, because this is what I would want, and this is what I actually do with my digits when I actually use them. So what I've done, and we used to do this years ago, but I think when we stopped doing sort of the CDs and things, this kind of got lost a little bit along the way, and we kind of developed and moved on a bit, and it seemed kind of a bit of an old-fashioned concept, but it really does work. So I've brought it back, and from this collection on, we're going to do this for you. So Bella Bear. So just ignore the fact that they're in colour and black and white. So now you're going to get your normal Digistamp, your PNG, so you can actually overlay the images on top of each other, clear background as normal. Now what I'm doing is I'm going to give you sheets. So this is a full-size sheet. So I haven't put these on a sheet. They're actually going to be included in the download, and we're giving you these free as part of the download. So you're not paying any more money for this. It takes me a little bit longer to do, but I'm doing it because I really want to make sure that it's easy for you. So here, what I've done on this sheet is, you see how there's actually a dotted line here? I've actually thought about the top card sizes that we all tend to make, and they are in the UK and I think Europe, it's A6, which is about 105 by 148 millimeters. So an A6 card, I'll get one here. This is an A6 card, so it's a small card size. So it's the standard kind of small greeting card size. In the US, this is an A2, so it's 4 by 6 inches. I think probably most of us use inches. So it's a 4 by 6 inches. So that's a really, really standard card size. So then after that, the next card size up is actually an A5, or if you're in the US, it's a 5 by 7. And that's half a sheet of A4. So basically that's quite a large size card. If you went in a greeting card shop, you'd be paying a reasonable amount of money for that. It's quite expensive. So that's the next size up. You then also have, this is 5 by 7 inches. So obviously you then have a 6 by 6 as well, which is kind of in between. And then we also have what I call a DL card. And a DL actually fits, or a slimline as they've become known, a DL actually is a 4 by 8. So 4 by 8 or 100 by 220 millimeters, 10 by 22 centimeters. So those three card sizes plus the 6 by 6 are your standard cards that most of us tend to make. I know there's a few in between, like a lot of people make a 4 by 4 inch square, but you can still use that. So if you want a 4 by 4 inch square, that's really tiny. So that would be kind of like that size. So this is the one. So these three formats pretty much cover every card size that we're going to make. Unless you're going up to an 8 by 8. But if you were going 8 by 8, I would still use this size anyway. So I've pre-sized these images onto a flat sheet so that this will fit perfectly on that card size. So here on this A5 sheet here, if I just, this is paper, so I should be able to see how it goes through. So this is your A5 or your 5 by 7, and I've sized this image to roughly how I think you would need that image to be sized. So obviously you can still do this however you want it to be. You're not, you're not beholden to these sizes. This is just an extra tool that will help you and speed up your crafting. So you can still resize this sheet as a really fast way within your printer settings. But you can just take the PNG file and you can resize that to whatever you want it to be. And, it's not about replacing that, it's about helping you. So that image fits on here. And it actually says down here, sized for A5 or 5 by 7 card base. And hopefully that's going to really, really help you. And I've put lots of space around here. So if you want to die cut it, you can. Or if you want to put it through your silhouette, your Cricut machine, or your Brother Scan and Cut, you can do so as well. And then, so I'm going to just show you the others. So this one, this sheet is for the Slimline DL card base. And the reason I've done it like this is because I don't want you to be wasting paper. So on the DL, you can see here, when I put that next to there, that image is probably about the right size of what you're going to want on your DL. But I know a lot of you do DLs that are much smaller. You tend, some of you, or a lot of you actually do them landscape. So I've actually made these two slightly smaller. So you can see, again, that this is going to fit onto that landscape format as well. And again, if you want to go down to the really tiny little ones, you can still resize it to however you want it to be. So that's for the DL. And then the last one here is the A6 or the A2 card base, 4 by 6. So again, this one, it looks like, obviously it looks the same as the 5 by 7, but the images are smaller. And if I put this in the middle, you can see there that that image is, let me just grab my ruler. So this is 7.5 or just under 3 inches. So on a 4 by 6 card, that's kind of going to be perfect. So it's going to sit in there like that, and that's probably about the right size. So hopefully that's going to help you. You've got that in the black and white and also in the colour as well. And just to sort of show you the other way that you kind of can use it, so just to show you how it works, just grab all of these. Look, I've been busy. Where's my thingy gone? Where's my doofer gone? Has anybody got any questions about that? Have I bored you all to death already? So here I've got my sheet that I ran through my silhouette. Now one thing, these things always happen the first time that you do something new. And what I realised was on my silhouette, I'd actually put on a couple of the sheets, I'd put the name of the file in the top corner here. And so when I came to print it out, it was actually really close to the registration mark. So if that happens, because it wouldn't register on one of the sheets, I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been the Bella Bear one. But if that doesn't happen, just turn your sheet round the other way when you're actually setting it up. So I kind of rotated this, and so then this is down here, because in fact I think it was this one, because I actually was going to print it that way around, and my registration marker was right here and it wouldn't register on the machine. So rotate it 180 degrees and then it'll actually print out the opposite way around, and you've not impeding your registration mark. So all you need to do is print it out, put your SVG file on there and resize your SVGs, and there you go. Your little Suki kitty is there. So how easy is that? It was just so much easier, because normally this, as I say, this is usually how I prep for classes and things like that. And I thought, if I need to do this, everybody else must need to do it as well. So hopefully that's going to make it much, much easier. Okay, so that's the, oh look at them all. How cute. Do you know, I love doing this. I think this, just having a little bit of a session, it took me about half an hour to do all of these and get all these cut out. And I think it's so inspiring when you do this and you have it in like a little, I'm going to put these in a little envelope, and then I've got them all good to go. And I just love the fact that we do these pre-coloured images for you as well, because I know that even the most proficient, best Copic colourers out there also use these too. And I just love the fact that we do that for you, because I use them as well, and much as I love colouring, I just don't have time much, so that, you know, I just love doing it. So I really wanted to actually make a little card. Now I've not really got anything planned, I'm kind of a bit on the fly. I've just pulled some bits of stash out this morning. It's so long since I've crafted, but I'm going to actually make something. So if you want me to do anything, I may not have the stash with me, but I'm going to try. So I think we'll do a tag. I just found these in my stash. God knows where these have come from. I think I've had them for about 10 years, if not longer. I just don't even know where they're from. They were actually with a Seven Gypsies little journal, and it must be 20 years since I've had a Seven Gypsies journal. So that's probably how long I've had them. Yeah, they are great for colouring inspiration, definitely. And that was also another thing that came up in the poll. So thanks for that comment, whoever made that. Can you cut images on the Cricut Maker? Yes, you absolutely can. And I also have a Cricut and I love it. And if you just put the images in on the Cricut, usually it will just go straight up to the outline. It tends not to cut the white border for you. Oh, it's so accurate. I love the Cricut. I need to use it more. It's a long time in between me using it each time. I need to get so that I'm using these things every week, and then I forget how to use it. Right, what we're going to do then? So, let me think. I'm going to go. I've got just like I say, I just pulled a few bits and pieces of stash, so I'm just going to recycle a bit of cardboard, and I also have, this is what I pulled out. Okay, I pulled this out. This, I just thought, I'm not going to plan it, I'm just going to go random. And I've got these papers. I've got these papers which are from the Love Always collection, because I really like some of these as well. Which one was it I liked? I was gonna, oh, I don't know, I can't remember now. Maybe that one. But then in here there's a nice, oh, I love this paper pack. Let me think. I'm kind of liking these colours. I love pink and green together. And I'm kind of in the mood for something nice and bright and vibrant. But I really wanted to do a tag. I've got my Snow Tex, and I've got Stampendous Shabby Embossing Marble. And what I thought I would do, because the reason I don't do many lives is that I just really don't have the time to plan them out a lot of the time. And I thought, was sitting at home last night and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a live and I'm not going to plan it. I'm just going to pull some stash, put it on the desk and see what happens, just as if you were crafting at home. So that's what we're doing. So I'm going to use my tag and I'm actually going to do some paper tearing for a change. Let me go with this. So this could turn out terribly badly, but we're going to see. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to, I think I might just look with my glue gun. Glue, glue, glue. So, oh, my glue's a little bit cold. So let's stick some glue on. And I don't think I'm going to go up to, shall I go to the end? No, I don't think I am. I'm going to go there. And then I'm going to just trim. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to trim that off. Okay. See, this is what you need to do, isn't it? I've not been very inspired lately. So, well, it's not that I'm not inspired. I just haven't got a lot of time to craft. And that actually kills me when in terms of my inspiration. So, I think I'm going to add that there. And I'm just trying to keep an eye on your comments as well. Oh yeah, definitely stash the corrugated cardboard for sure. And then this isn't going to be a long project, by the way, at all. I'm going to just, the whole idea of this was I thought, right, I need to do something that's going to take 15-20 minutes maybe. Let's put that up there. Oh, I just love that texture. And let's have a little bit there. Glue. Gosh, this glue. That doesn't want to come out, does it? And let's put that so it goes right across. And we're going to leave that so that it's kind of, it's got some movement in it. Now, I need a little bit of, let me think. You see, this isn't going to work for me because I need a spritz really rather than, let me think. Yeah, no, it's fine. Okay, I'm going to get my marker first of all, and I'm just going to doodle my edge because this is bugging me right now that that's left. And I'm going to continue that around here. And I'm just going to loosely go around there. So just doing that, a few bits of scraps of paper. Don't really need to do a huge amount more. Now I haven't got a bit of paper, I've got some scrap paper. A bit of scrap card actually. Actually, yeah, let's go with this. This is actually a little bit of watercolour card. So I just really want to use these stencils for some reason. I kind of feel like it's a stencil day. So let's just, I don't want a lot of it, so I'm just going to grab some ink. I think this is the first time I've used this. Okay. So, yummy dots, wow. And then I want to add in, so this is the layering, the Sweetheart layering stencils, which were actually last year's Valentine collection, and they're just so useful. So because I'm using the same ink, it should just layer and add a little bit of depth. Maybe not. Where's my other ink pad? I think maybe might be because it's distress. So let me grab spritz of water. Let's see what happens. In fact, let me get a wipe, some bamboo wipe. I'm just going to wipe some of this off. I don't know whether this is going to work. But that's the whole point. Kind of worked, not really. It's kind of gone very faded in the middle, look. It probably would if I'd have let it dry on its own, but actually I quite like that. They look like balls, don't they? How cool is that? It's just like a natural kind of a pattern on there. Right, let's see if we can actually go back in with a darker ink. Oh, nice. So a completely different look to what I was going for, but actually I really like it. So what can we do with this? So I'm going to use, I kind of like Bobby Bear, and I'm kind of wanting to do another tag. I know what we're going to do. We are going to go full on rip and tear today, I think. So let's just add some of that on there. This, you do realise this could have all gone really badly wrong. But anyway, it may yet still happen. Okay, and I want to just match my doodling around the edge. You can see that there, you don't need to be kind of accurate in any way. So we'll kind of, there's a lot going on here, isn't there? It might be a little bit too much. This is what happens with me. I end up where I kind of want to add loads of things. Right, let's get this on. Gosh, this, I can't push the glue out. It's a new bottle as well. I just can't, it's so cold. It's not cold in here, it's just that the glue's got cold. Okay, so let's put him there. I need some 3D, so I'm going to 3D him up. Oh, before I do that, one more thing. Put that away. I'm going to use my snow tacks. Now, a little tip for you with your snow tacks. Last time I used this, it was really thick. And again, this is something that I've had for probably 12 years, I would say, if not longer. And it was all drying out, so I just added a little bit of water. It's probably about 2 months since I used it, and you can see that now it's actually, I probably put a little bit too much in, but it's revived, brought it back to life. So, and this just totally lifts everything. So we're going to put a little bit, oh, I've forgotten what I was going to do. I had an idea and I've gone off tangent. So we're just going to kind of make this go a little mixed media. A bit too much there, but never mind. Oh, I do love snow tacks. Grab my paper. There's my scrap. Okay, just clean my hands. Ugh. Okay, so one thing I wanted to do before I go any further, this bit here where it's overlapping, I'm going to just fringe. And this is an old technique that I used to use a lot. And a really good tip for you, if you start losing a bit of mojo, you can't, you know those days when you just kind of think, I just can't think of anything to make, and you're just kind of sitting at your desk looking at the stuff around you, and you think, oh yeah, well yeah, but I really like that, but I just can't think of what to make. A really good tip is to go back. If you blog, this is a reason why you should have a blog, if no other reason. You know, if you've got a blog, go over your blog and go back 3, 4, 5 years, however long you've been crafting, go back to the start, and you'll be able to see, or even in your stash, or if you've got, you know, maybe you've got boxes and boxes of cards, pull some of those cards out and take a look at what you were making last year, 2 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, and actually look and see what it was that started you crafting in the first place. Because very often you'll discover old techniques that you really loved. And if you think about it, if it was something that you loved enough to start your crafting, maybe it's heat embossing, you know, or for me it was very much about paper. I'm a bit of a paper geek. I always loved paper. So I'm just wrapping, so I've kind of curled this up, and then like you would with a ribbon, and then I'm going to wrap it. So I want that just to sit in there. So it's kind of like going to look all tatty, and I want this kind of like that. And I'm just going to add, oops, a few, gosh, I really shouldn't do this with my fingers, I'm getting way too much on. But I just want to add a little bit more snow text on here. And I just wanted to do it before I added anything else, because it's going to help to solidify that so those pieces don't actually fall off. So if I just hold that up and show you a bit closer, how exciting does that look? And it's so easy. Okay, so we're going to just put, oh, he hasn't cooked very well. I think my machine went off a little bit, or I didn't set it up quite right. So I'm just going to get some 3D glue gel, and I'm going to sit him, I think, just there. Let's have him just sitting on top of that cardboard. And then all I want to do is, these sentiments are actually from the Love Always collection, and I just happen to have them printed. And I really love this one here, this kind of composite. So I'm just going to cut that one out. And again, this time I'm not going to tear the edges. What I'm going to do instead is, this is another really cool little trick. So if you can't be bothered to get your paper trimmer out, which I never can, if you cut all the angles differently, it'll actually just sit there. And I'm just going to add a little bit of a sentiment. I don't want to cover my stenciling up there, so I'm going to just put that in there. And then one last couple of things that I've got. I have some red twine and some normal twine, and I'm just going to cut a couple of lengths. Oops. Oh, so now I've got snow text all over it. Never mind. Okay, so I want to do a really nice kind of bow. So I'm just going to wrap that around my fingers like that. So I've got it in a thing around. Oh, what's that that fell off? I'm going to just go like that, wrap it around, hold it in the middle so it's really nice and messy, and then just grab some of this string. Oh, I did that tag and I haven't even used it, look. And I'm just going to tie the string around the middle and knot it, and then decide where I'm going to put that. I think I quite like it at the bottom there, and I think that will actually look really nice if I just do that at the bottom. This is, I'm really loving this, considering it was totally unplanned and off the cuff. I quite like it. So, how does that look? Do you think I'm done? Do you think I need anything else? One more thing I do. One thing I think might just finish this off. Let me just get these things out of the way. Okay. Stampendous Shabby Embossing Enamel. This is one of my favourite products of all time. If you've never used this, basically it's an embossing powder, but it's really big, chunky bits. I don't think you can see that. But this one's got glitter in it. And what you can do, you can obviously use it with your embossing powder, but what's really nice is to actually, I need to just push that off his face. If you just sprinkle it, and you don't need a lot, make sure it's well mixed together. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put, just get a scrap bit of paper. So I want to heat the embossing enamel, and it'll actually melt and sit wherever I've kind of sprinkled it. But you need to obviously make sure that you're not going to blow it around with your heat gun. So whilst I'm just doing this, let me just have a look at some of the comments. Doodling is life. I totally agree. It really is. I love tearing papers, me too, and I haven't done that for so many years. And paper tearing and paper manipulating was the thing that got me into card making originally. Obviously stamping, but I bought every stamp and didn't use them for years because all I used to do was just kind of manipulate the paper. So now that I've actually heated, there's a lot of heat coming off this, and I'm going quite close, look, so it's actually, just kind of test it like that and just see how hot it's getting. I tend to kind of go, just do a little bit at a time, and you'll find that you can, if you do that, you'll see that it stops actually moving because it's starting to get a bit sticky. So you just want to make sure that you haven't got any of the actual embossing on his face. It's not so bad if it goes on the body. I've done that so many times where I've got it, not noticed that I've got a face sprinkled with it. But yeah, you can just do that and use the paper just as a shield for the wind from the there you go. It's actually just the glitter, because there's glitter in this. And obviously the glitter is only going to stick where that embossing enamel has melted. I don't even know if I've got that much on here actually. But I could do too. I'm going to dry off my snow text a little bit at the same time. And actually, you know what? I think I want a little bit more. So I'm going to just leave my heat gun running, because obviously the hotter my heat gun is, the better it's going to melt. So I'm just going to move it away. So I want to just show you. I want to put a bit there on the side. And I want to catch some in this corrugated card. That's better. I don't think I've put enough on. Maybe a little bit more. And you can, if you do it with your fingers, you can actually tell that you've got plenty of the right powder and not just all glitter, because the glitter tends to come to the top with it being a different consistency. So let me look at some of your comments. Good morning. Good morning. Whoever you are, it's just saying Facebook user. It isn't actually giving me anybody's names for some reason here. I don't know why. Oh, I should have asked you permission first. If I'd invited you to leave comments, I could have seen whose names it was. So sorry, I'm not name checking, but it literally, every comment just says Facebook user. So I couldn't actually tell who's who. Let's just see if we can. Yeah. So you can actually see close up. I can't show you unfortunately because you won't be able to, it'll go out of focus. But you can actually see it melt, starting to melt just like a normal embossing folder. Just don't go too mad, because again it will melt back. The actual pieces are bigger than a normal embossing folder, so it will kind of be more prominent anyway. But just make sure you catch all those nice bits. I think that's about it. You can see when it's stopped melting. Wow, that gets warm. Put that on for a bit of central heating. Okay, so I'm just going to shake that off. Yeah, and not much of that has actually fallen off. It's just a tiny little bit. And that's us done. So, how cute. I'm really pleased with that. I think it's actually come out really nice. Let me just put a piece of black card behind that so you can see it a bit better. But I just love having all of these raggedy bits and pieces, just like these little bits of string. Can you imagine if you gave that to somebody? I think they'd be really pleased with it. If someone gave it to me, I'd be in love. I'd kind of think they'd spent hours, and I spent what, 20 minutes, 25 minutes on that. Can you see? Just going to try and show you the embossing enamel so you can, don't think you can really see it on this camera. Let me switch cameras and I might be able to show you better on the other camera, because it kind of zooms, it goes into focus when I actually, oh yeah, there you go. So it goes in focus. So I don't know, let me see. It's hard to keep it still. I've got a bad shoulder, so I can't hold things up much. But can you see all the little dots? And, oh, there you go, that's a bit better. If I hold it still, it'll focus in. So you can see just at the top there above the bear's head, all of that is all the Stampedus shabby embossing, and you can see all the glitter there. The glitter will come off his face because it's not sticking to anything, but it was only stuck into where I'd actually put all the embossing powder. So there you go, and that's our lovely tag. So I hope you should have a go at this, you know, how to make something with your stash. So I think next week or the next one, I'm going to get organised with these. I've really enjoyed this. Do you know, I think this is the key to me doing more videos with you. I just need to go with the flow. I really enjoyed it, and I hope you have too. I don't want to ramble on. It's been an hour. Well, not quite, because it took me 10 minutes to get here. But I think next time I will sort a date out and we will do it. And I will do it in advance. So get your craft stuff and let's all craft along together. Why don't we do that? Everybody craft along together. And I think it'd be really nice. And let's kind of repurpose. Yeah, do a craft along. I think it'd be really cool. And I'd really like to do that every week. And I've needed to do this for my creativity, and I think it's just like a really good way, just randomly. I don't know what made me think of it. I just thought, right, okay, I'm just going to pick loads of stuff up. I don't know what to make, and I'm just going to go with the flow, and I'm just going to pick random stuff and see if I can use it. And I think it actually turned out pretty nicely. I'm going to post this, so if you want to actually have a go at it and copy it, you can do. You can follow along this video, because this will be recorded, so although it's live, you'll be able to see it in the group. It'll just take maybe half an hour or so to actually record into the group, so it will be there, and I'll also email it out and put it onto YouTube as well. So if you want to do this project, I'll put the instructions there of the little bits and pieces that you need, and then you can make your own version of it and share them in the group, because it'd be really lovely to see you make your versions. So from me and little Bobby Bear and little Bella Bear and Suki Kitty and Scruff the dog, from us, thank you for joining me. And like I said, I will post times next time in advance so you can all get here. And I don't know if it was a good time or not. I know someone from the US has joined us, but ideally we want it a little bit later in the day. So I think the ideal time is probably about 2 till 3. So I think after that people kind of start going and picking kids up and things like that, although you can still join afterwards. But anyway, that's it from me. Enjoy your weekend. Happy crafting. I hope you're going to be using some of these little cuties over the weekend. Don't forget, I almost forgot, there's that code CUTE35, and that'll get you 35% off this kit. So for the whole bundle, it comes down at under, I think it's £9 something. I think it's just over £9, which I think is about, I think it makes it about $12 or something like that, and just over 10 or 11 euros. So that's for these little cuties. Watch out for lots more stuff coming soon. The design team girls are packed out with lots and lots of stuff. We've got lots of releases coming up. So anyway, that's it. Enjoy your weekend, and thank you for joining me. See you next week. It's been fun. Thank you. Bye.